ready to go. Baby, what you wanna do tonight? What you got for me to try? We ain't let it dip back up.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a super easy beginner friendly tutorial. I'll be showing you how to make oversized extra large scrunchies. So let's get right into it. So starting off with the first scrunchie, I'm grabbing my blue satin fabric that I got from Joann's, and I actually just recently did a vlog of me going to Joann's picking out material for this video. So if you want, go check that out. And what I'm doing is measuring 31 inches long and 8 to 9 inches wide. And initially I didn't measure 31 inches, I measured longer than that, but eventually I had to cut it down later on in the video. So that's what I'm doing here. And after that, you're going to fold the fabric together, right sides touching, and you're going to measure 3 centimeters on each side, and you're going to pin in between those markings that you made. Next, I measured 10 inches for the elastic band, and the elastic band is about a 1/4 inch wide. Yeah. Next, you're going to sew a straight seam between the two 3 centimeter markings with a seam allowance of a 1/2 inch. After sewing the sleeve, you're going to use your hands to invert it right side out. Next, I take a large safety pin and put it through the elastic, and then I feed that through the sleeve. After that, I put the two elastic pieces together, slightly overlapping, and I sew and reverse a couple of times, and I do that for both sides to secure the elastic band. So the last step, it would be to join the pieces, and you're going to take either ends that look like cat ears and put them right sides together, and you're going to pin them. You're not going to be able to sew the whole thing closed perfectly, so you're going to sew as much as you can. And I'm just lining up the seam, the middle part, and I'm pinning them together. And I'm pushing the fabric back as much as I can and pinning them together like you see here. Make sure you pin the edges together too. You want to slide the fabric and manipulate it any way you need to make sure that you're sewing the fabric together. Like this. Once you pinned as much as you can, you're going to sew close to the edge. I just lined my seam up with the inside of the presser foot. That's about like maybe a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch. And yeah. Once you're done, push the fabric right side out. Just have to pull the elastic band off of the fabric and pull it right side out, and you can see that it looks seamless, but there's like a small little gap here that we're going to have to sew. I think if the stitch is an edge stitch, well, it's just going to be a stitch with a small seam allowance, or try to make it as small as possible, but it'll help if you have matching threads, so it won't be so noticeable. But that's why you sew as much as you can so that the gap won't be that big. And I looked at store-bought scrunchies too, and it's the same way. They have like a little gap to close the scrunchie up. And if you notice that the color of the fabric is different from in the beginning, it's because when I recorded the videos the first time, I recorded the whole thing in speed lapse and it was too fast and I had to slow it down, so I just made a new scrunchie, recording it scene by scene. Okay, so this one is completed, and this is the first one that I made, and in comparison you can see how small a regular size scrunchie is. So these are the extra largest, and these is a regular one that I got from TJ Maxx. Now I'm about to do a 2-layered scrunchie, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So the steps are similar to the first time. You're just going to measure 31 inches wide, and for the satin base scrunchie, you're going to measure 1.5 inches less than the tulle or chiffon fabric, whatever fabric, lace fabric that you use. For the outside, you're going to measure 1/2 inch less in width. You're also going to mark 3 centimeters from either ends on both pieces of fabric, and then pin in between those markings, just like we did for the first scrunchie. And cut an elastic band that measures 10 inches. Next, sew a straight seam between the 3 centimeter markings on both fabrics and invert the fabric like we did the first time. The next step would be to place the satin fabric inside of the lace fabric sleeve. Next, you're going to feed the elastic through the satin fabric, and you're going to join the elastic. After joining the elastic, we're going to close up the scrunchie the same way we did in the beginning, just 1 layer at a time. First, we start with the satin fabric and we pin it, and then we sew it, and then we sew that gap. And then we will do the same thing for the lace fabric, or tulle, because that's the fabric that I used. So this is the second layer one, and it is so pretty. I think I'll call this one Blossom because it reminds me of Powerpuff Girls. Like, it's so pretty, on God. But like, I'm going to record me, do a time lapse of me sewing another one like this, but it's just going to be a time lapse. So if you want to learn how to do it, just replay the tutorial part, and yeah. So this is all for the video today. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share with a friend or your family, anybody who's interested. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post another video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.